Ladies and gentlemen, it is my 8-year anniversary as your Planetary Defense Commander on April 23rd. And I'm wondering, am I going to sign up for a 9th year? Wow, shit is crazy, and we are definitely heading towards Eclipse season. So the news is going to be, super flashy and sometimes freaky, and not in a good way. Happy 420, by the way. Peace Pipe Day. Let's get back to that in a minute as we get to the energy of this exact moment. Just like 20 minutes ago, 10, 12, they were like, hey, we are shutting down the U.S. Capitol because they're parachute dudes falling out of the sky in places they're not supposed to be parachuting. Remember, this news is rushing in. I could be getting totally all of it wrong. And then Florida hospitalizations are up 10%. So that's a bad sign. Remember, Shanghai's been in lockdown for like 7 weeks. That is like super lockdown. And they don't have freedom of speech like we do on Twitter to like complain about how our government's handled the pandemic. They don't have that shit there. So they don't get to complain on social media about, hey, we don't like being locked down, which is an interesting estimate. Oh, yeah, and this is the closest we've ever been to possible World War III or nuclear war of technology. In my lifetime, and definitely in the 8 years as Planetary Defense Commander or the 9 years THORnews, what we're looking at here is a Russian video made about the Z. It's technically a catchy tune, though I don't understand the words. And I would say, man, the legends of Russian women being hot are true. But I don't want to objectify women. But, I'm attracted to women. All these ladies look pretty young. But they definitely look like soldier age. And remember, women don't fight in the Russian army. And everybody was like, that's what makes the Russian army so great. And well, they're on day 53 of the war. And the invasion. And they have just been decimating cities, destroying with missiles and artillery and bullets and urban warfare. And then Trump went on Piers' show, was like, look, hey, I won in 2020. And Piers like, no, you didn't. And technically, I've always been look, dudes, it is Tammany Hall. Did you read Tammany Hall? Technically, whoever ends up like the mayor or the president in the seat when they do the changeover, that's who won. It's Tammany fucking Hall. It's from like the early mid 1800s. Like, elections have been a thing. And then, I don't know, people run around like, hey, man, life is not fair. Except for capitalism and crypto coins. They are totally fair or whatever. And so I got a note from Defense One. New ideas. Hey, NATO should start preparing troops for a nuclear battlefield. I'm like, what? Hey, who's your favorite X-Man? And then we had an X-Class flare. And I don't know, now I feel like a dumbass because from like 2020 till now, I was like, hey, let's all work and plan towards having a fun spring and summer of 2022. Well, collectively, we didn't really work that hard of it as a team. And so now it's kind of like, I don't know, this is like Act 3 of 2020. So Act 1 of 2020 was 2020. Act 2 of 2020 was 2021. So now we are in Act 3 of 2020, which is 2022. And Elon Musk's like, I got an idea to solve all our problems. I'm going to bring Donald Trump back to Twitter. But fact checkers today were like, no, Donald Trump has not been brought back to Twitter by Elon yet. Technically, for 8 years, 9 years, I've been asking everybody to work together as one Earth team. And for 9 years, we haven't really done that, but we have avoided World War III and collapse of civilization. So whatever report card you guys are going to give me for year 8 or all year 8s, And, the USSR, USA, Cold War, it's definitely been happening since at least the 80s. So we're like in Act 3 of the 80s as well, as everything happens in cycles, I guess. They say there's nothing new under the sun. I'm like, I don't know, man. That sounds pretty nihilistic to me. But remember, as me recording this video, they're literally like, they have evacuated the capital. There's a single engine aircraft. Parachutists into national parks, not coordinated appropriately, per to people directly familiar with CNN. And some people are always like, never trust the news, especially CNN, no matter what they say about every single subject on the planet. And so I'm like, okay, does that even mean when they tell me that 9 out of 10 dentists recommend I brush my teeth and floss? All right, I should take a shower today. I've been wearing the same Defenders shirt for like, I don't know, 10 days maybe? Yeah, dude, I will shower more when the goddamn war is over. Okay, I don't see a single beneficiary from this insane war. Innocent people and soldiers are dying. The sanctioned founder of digital lender TCS Group wrote he estimated 90% of Russians were against the war. And this is on the tail end of a pandemic that is not over. All right? So yeah, the energy today is super duper wild and crazy. And I was just saying 17 hours ago on Twitter, man, I don't really think y'all are ready for eclipse season. So let's get ready. Let's ride out the waves in these storms together. It's like yesterday, a lot of the airlines were like, hey, man, we are releasing our mask mandates. And then everybody started to argue. And I'm like, yo, dude, I think arguing about vaccines and masks in 2022 feels really 2021, 2020. I'm not sure about arguing about anything at this point solves or accomplishes anything. And Astrolata, one of my favorite YouTube channels out there, she does astrology, her channel got terminated. To me, this is absolutely horrible news. And for what? Yeah, man, to start the year, remember when I got put on probation, suspended for 7 days? These are crazy days, my friend. And that was the whole thing. Like, you know, even when Republicans were and had the president, they were like, everybody talked about repealing Article 230, which gives like media companies, you know, social, like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, that like it doesn't make them responsible for the content they put out. Like they don't have any liability to it. And so everybody's always like, yeah, if you want free speech to happen, you have to get rid of Article 230. And so Elon, you know, was like, hey, yeah, how about no, but I will just make more billions under Article 230. I ain't going to work to get rid of it. Hell no, I'm going to use the advantages that Jack already created for me. And I'll own Town Square. I don't know, that's just a very interesting subject, and especially as Texans, we all talk about it, and I love Twitter. And so, I don't know, man, I just want everybody to get along and have a good summer. But if you watch the Dana Carvey and David Spade Fly on the Wall, I guess listen, not watch. They were talking about how that clip from Let There Be Blood, where he's like, I'm an oil man. I can only be happy if no one else wins. So there's that whole Plutonian, Marsian, Erisian atmosphere definitely floating around. Taylor Swift may or may not be engaged. And I hear reports Selena and Jack may be happy, but this is not about celebrity gossip. This is about China Daily. UN chief calls for 4-day pause in Ukraine during Easter. So think about that. In this weird pre-World War III or Cold World War III atmosphere, that a Occidental nation, Occidental Christian nation like Russia, is like, this will be, I don't know, it's just to be invading another nation during Easter. It just seems weird. And so definitely during Peace Pipe Day, yeah, I call for a 4-day, you know, how about, yeah, a peace treaty, an Easter peace treaty. Pretty pleased. That would be like the greatest thing to do. That you have, you know, China's its own world, even like Japan's its own world, Taiwan's its own world, Russia's its own, like they're all their own worlds. And so it would just probably be in everybody's own benefit in the atomic nuclear digital age for everybody to have a peace treaty. And everybody to make sure that all their people get fed and have a bed. All right. Yeah, peace treaty for Easter. And I hope Jesus forgives me You know, sometimes I have thoughts about cuddling. Okay. But this is creepy. Okay. But it's a weird G.I. Joe. There's a whole G.I. Joe thing that keeps being triggered. Did you guys ever watch that show when you were younger? G.I. Joe. Anyway. And the volcanoes are erupting and the atmospheric dragons are around. And it's definitely windy here in Texas. Much of New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska. All right. And wrapping this video up, letting you know, hey, there's no threat to the Capitol. Says Market Watch. I guess they took their eyes off the market for a second. Please issue all clear after evacuation order. Well, there you go. Yeah, so pray for peace and happy Peace Pipe Day. Legalize it. And stay cool. Oh, yeah, I had a big question for you, though. Do really stubborn people have free will? I was thinking about that earlier today on a walk. I saw, hey, man, wow, look at me. I'm all philosophical. All right. But it's, yeah, do really, really, really stubborn people have free will? And the thing that made me think of that is, so this eclipse season is going to be happening in the houses of Tauruses and people with heavy Taurus placements and Scorpio. And some people have joked over time that those two signs can be stubborn. And, you know, I don't know. I wish everybody a great weekend and nothing but love, happiness, and peace. Though this is definitely an up and down roller coaster. Okay. Oh, yeah. And God bless everyone and happy Easter week.